Imagine for a moment that you're sitting at your desk, looking out at the horizon through your office window. Maybe you feel stuck in a routine that seems endless, with the feeling that your financial future is out of reach. You wonder how other people manage to live lives of wealth, with luxurious trips, expensive cars, and total freedom, while you barely manage to pay your bills at the end of the month. What you don't know is that the key to true wealth doesn't lie in the university degree you earned or in a stable job that gives you a false sense of security. The system you were taught to believe in is designed to keep you trapped in an endless cycle of work and debt. But what if I told you that there's a secret formula, a path that few people know about, but that can lead you to the financial success you've always dreamed of? And even more, what if I told you that this journey doesn't require luck or birth privileges, but rather a radical shift in mindset and a completely new perspective on money, work, and life itself? At this moment, you may be wondering if all this is possible. You might be thinking the chances are slim, that the game is already lost for people like you. But I assure you, this is an illusion. The truth is that the majority of the population has never had access to true financial education, which is why they get trapped in the system's traps. But the good news is that you can break these chains. The path to true financial freedom is right in front of you. You just need to understand how to play it according to the rules that really make a difference. You're probably in a job right now, perhaps something you got through a university degree, but as you look at the trajectory of things, everything seems absurdly expensive, and you don't feel good about it. Maybe you have debts to pay, or maybe you're a student who believes that college is the key to a prosperous future, expecting that this investment will lead to a secure job. However, you realize you have no savings, only student debt looming over your head, and the dream of getting rich seems further and further away. You look at millionaires and billionaires, especially those who reach the top at such a young age, and wonder how they managed to do it. This puzzles you, frustrates you, and you start thinking, they were lucky. They were born rich. Maybe they cheated to get there. Money is evil, and I'll never be smart enough. I'm just unlucky. And then the dreams you had start to seem unattainable. Buying that dream mansion, getting the car you've always wanted, paying off all your debts, traveling the world. You come to the harsh conclusion that all of this will never be more than a distant dream. It feels like the game is already decided and you're on the losing team. But what if I told you that you're wrong? What if I told you that there is, indeed, a way to get there? A formula to achieve wealth, and even more. What if you didn't have to give up on the dream of paying off your debts, traveling the world, and fulfilling your deepest desires? I know you might call me a liar for saying this, but I promise you I'm not. You'll come to understand that there is another side to the coin that they never showed you. But let me warn you, the path is not easy. It is tough, filled with challenges, ups and downs. It will require you to accept hard truths that schools and society never taught you. And I'll be clear, many of you won't make it to the end of this journey. But for those who do, the reward will be something you never imagined possible. True wealth goes far beyond what you can imagine. At the end of this journey, what you're really seeking is the freedom to never have to worry about money again. It seems like a distant goal, doesn't it? But the truth is, many people throughout history have discovered that this path is not only possible, but also accessible to those who understand how the game of money works. Do you identify with the idea that money is something you work hard for, is deserved or inherited, or even seen as the root of all evil? Maybe you felt desperate in your pursuit of more. You've spent much of your life chasing money, believing that this was the right path. The issue is that your view of money has been shaped by the environment you grew up in. If you were born into a family that didn't have much money, it's natural that you develop the belief that you won't make much either. Or on the other hand, maybe you rebelled against this situation, promising yourself you'd never go through that again. But there's something very important that school and society never taught you: the true formula for achieving wealth. That's right, the formula. Because deep down, the way you've been taught to view money is completely wrong. You believe that money comes from a fixed salary, from a job that demands your time and effort. However, this type of equation is flawed. Let me explain why. Imagine this. In a traditional job, the value you earn is proportional to the time you dedicate to the service. For example, If you earn 20 reais per hour and work 40 hours a week, it would take you about 24 years to accumulate 1 million reais. And that's without considering taxes, daily expenses, and of course, inflation, which would make the value of a million much smaller over time. With an hourly rate of 20 reais, you could only become a millionaire in your old age if you managed to save and invest every penny. And the worst part is, over all that time, what you've lost most isn't just money, but your time, a precious resource that never comes back. Now you're probably wondering, how is it possible for millionaires to achieve such status at such a young age? The answer is simple. They have a view of money that you haven't yet understood. The secret isn't in how much you earn, but in how you perceive the value of your work in the market. This value doesn't depend just on the effort you put in, but on how the market perceives what you do. The market is made up of people, friends, family, consumers, all those who are willing to pay for something you offer. And that's where the magic happens. Take football players, for example. Many people complain that they earn too much, but the fact is that the market pays them this way because there's enormous demand for football. They don't receive high salaries for physical effort, but for the value the market places on their ability to entertain millions of people. And this, in turn, generates immense revenue. The same principle applies in various industries and professions. A janitor, for example, is paid much less than an accountant because the market values the accountant's work more than the janitor's, mainly because it's harder to replace. But what about you? How can you increase your perceived value? How did those who became billionaires like Jeff Bezos manage to do it? The first and most important lesson is, stop chasing money. This may sound strange, but it's the truth. In a capitalist society, the rules of the game are clear. You'll be paid for the perceived value of what you do. If you solve a problem, you create value, and that will generate money. The logic is simple. If you solve a $1 million problem, the solution to that problem will be worth $1 million. If the problem is in the billions, the solution will be worth billions. A clear example of this is the success of Amazon. Jeff Bezos recognized a global problem, the difficulty of buying products online and waiting weeks for them to arrive at our homes. He found a solution that revolutionized commerce, and in doing so, built an empire. He didn't create a business just to make money, but to solve problems for millions of people, and he was generously rewarded for it. Now you might be thinking, but I'm not like Jeff Bezos. I don't know how to program, and I don't have money to start a business. The answer is simple. Start with the problem. Listen to the market around you. What problems are people facing? What would they like to be different? What do they feel is missing from the market? Identifying these problems is the first step. And yes, there are small problems, local problems, problems that can be solved with limited resources, but that have great growth potential. Now, when you find a problem, it's time to think of a scalable solution. A solution that once created can be replicated and sold to many people. This is essential. Starting a restaurant, for example, is not scalable because the reach is limited. However, creating an online course or a digital product that can be accessed by anyone, anywhere in the world, that's scalable. The key lies in automation, having systems and processes that allow your business to grow without directly relying on your time. Once you've found your scalable solution, it's also important to think about automation and outsourcing. There's nothing wrong with hiring someone to do part of the work you don't need to do personally. Remember, there's always someone more qualified to perform a specific task than you. And when your business is running well, with the right systems and processes in place, there are two options: continue growing and scaling, or sell the business to someone who sees the value you've created. Large companies like Instagram and PayPal were bought for billions of dollars precisely because they solved major problems for millions of people. Therefore, the real formula for wealth is not chasing money, but finding problems, solutions, and creating something that truly has value for people. And by doing so, you will be generously rewarded. At the end of the day, for most people, it's not about accumulating money. Money, in fact, is nothing more than a piece of paper or a number that appears on the bank screen. Its value exists only because we believe in it, because we've been taught to assign it meaning that transcends the material. What you really seek, deep down, is not the monetary value, but the freedom it can provide. It's not the car of your dreams or the trip to the most exotic destinations in the world. What you really want is the ability to do what you wish, whenever you want, without having to worry about the cost. It's the freedom to live without the constant weight of doubt. Can I afford this? Or, I've used all my vacation days, now what? You want to wake up without worrying about how much the rent will be at the end of the month, or what dreams you'll have to sacrifice to pay your bills. What you truly want is the power to control your destiny, not be a slave to finances. Money, in itself, has always been just a means to achieve that freedom. The true value is not in how much you earn, but in what you do with your time. Giving up a huge part of your life, sacrificing it for a job that probably doesn't bring satisfaction, is a high price to pay. Ask yourself, is it worth living a life based on this routine of working, going home, watching TV, sleeping, and starting all over again the next day? How many hours of your day are consumed by this endless cycle, without purpose? If you're at peace with this reality, maybe the problem isn't yours. Maybe you feel there's no other option for now. But if you feel there's something more to be lived, something more meaningful to be achieved, then this message is for you. What you need to understand is simple. Stop seeking money. Instead, seek to solve problems. The flow of wealth is fueled by your ability to find solutions to the challenges that arise. If your goal is to have the freedom to never worry about money again, then make problem-solving your constant mission. This, indeed, is what will bring fulfillment and happiness at the end of your journey. True success is not in accumulating wealth, but in transforming your life through what you solve, not what you earn. In the end, only you can decide if the struggle is worth it. But if you're willing to follow this path, maybe, in the end, the value of the effort will be infinitely more rewarding than any sum of money. So, what will your next step be? The real journey to achieving financial freedom and true wealth begins with a fundamental shift in the way you think about money. It's not about accumulating vast amounts in your bank account, nor reaching a position of status or recognition. The goal, at its essence, is not to have more money in hand, but to achieve personal freedom, where you no longer need to worry about financial issues that bind and limit you. Money, as discussed, is merely a means, a resource that, when used correctly, can open doors to the fulfillment of dreams, but it should not be seen as the ultimate goal. This thinking is revolutionary, because it unravels many of the beliefs we've held since childhood, which were imposed upon us by society, the media, schools, and even our families. We were taught that money is scarce, that it must be earned through hard work, and that the only way to earn more is to work more. This mindset puts us in a constant race to achieve something that always seems distant, like a prize we can never reach. However, the truth is that what's at stake is not just money, but how you relate to it and, more importantly, how you use it to create solutions and add value to the world. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that the only way to achieve large sums of money is to be lucky, inherit wealth, or be born into a rich family. This kind of thinking limits our possibilities and prevents us from seeing the real path to success. Great entrepreneurs and millionaires like Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk didn't get where they are because everything was handed to them. They were willing to see the world differently, identify problems that no one else saw, and create innovative solutions that truly added value. They realized that money is not something you should chase directly, but a natural consequence of solving big problems. The key to understanding the true formula for wealth lies in changing the way you see money. Instead of treating it as the end, you should see it as a tool to achieve freedom and create large-scale solutions. When you begin focusing on solving real and meaningful problems for people, whether in the local or global market, you begin to open doors that would otherwise remain closed. Innovation and the ability to create value are the true drivers of any successful business. It's crucial to understand that, in business and finance, you'll be paid for the value you create. The more value you create, the more you are rewarded. This doesn't mean you should pursue profit at any cost or that the solutions you propose need to be huge from the start. Often, it's the small solutions, the ones that meet simple, everyday needs, that have the greatest impact. What's important is that you stay attuned to the market and are willing to adjust your products or services to meet people's needs and desires. A key point in this process is understanding that you need to make your solution scalable. What does this mean? It means that your idea, your business, should have the potential to grow without you being actively involved in every aspect. Businesses that rely solely on your labor or time have limited growth. If you want to achieve true financial freedom, you need to find a way to make your business grow automatically, without constantly sacrificing it with endless hours of work. When scalability is discussed, the concept of automation comes into play. Automating processes and systems allows you to create a business machine that runs efficiently and self-sufficiently, even in your absence. This could include creating digital products like online courses, which can be sold repeatedly, or using digital platforms that facilitate the sale and distribution of services or products without requiring your presence at each transaction. The goal is to create a business that is independent of your time, that doesn't directly rely on your physical presence or an exchange of time for money. Another essential aspect is outsourcing. Often, entrepreneurs think they have to do everything themselves, but the reality is that it is possible and advantageous to delegate tasks to people who have specific skills. Outsourcing allows you to focus on higher impact tasks and leave the rest to those who are specialists in that area. This not only increases efficiency, but can also lead to better overall business performance. Now, a crucial part that is often overlooked in the pursuit of wealth is that the market, in general, doesn't care about your feelings, desires, or personal passions. While it is absolutely wonderful and even inspiring to love what you do, you need to understand that the reality of the market is very different. The market doesn't react to your enthusiasm or personal dedication. It only reacts to the needs and desires of people, that is, to what consumers truly want or need. Therefore, the solutions you create, the offerings you make, must be fully aligned with the market's expectations, not with your preferences or ideas about what you think they should want. This is a crucial point. Often, entrepreneurs make the mistake of building products or services based on their own passions or desires without really considering whether the market wants or needs them. This requires a mindset that is entirely focused on understanding the target audience, actively listening to what people are saying, what they truly want, and how their needs can be met more effectively. Additionally, it is necessary to be flexible, able to adapt quickly to changes in consumer behavior and market trends. The business world is dynamic and volatile, and the ability to adjust quickly to new demands and challenges is what separates successful businesses from those that fail. It's not just about a superficial understanding of the market, but a continuous effort to learn, listen, and adapt. To achieve true wealth, you need to be able to identify new opportunities that arise, often where you least expect them, and be willing to reinvent yourself as the world and people's needs change. Furthermore, there's another important consideration you must keep in mind, which is the possibility of selling your business. If your business achieves a significant level of success, the idea of selling it may arise naturally. Companies that started small with simple ideas are often bought for billions of dollars by large corporations or investors. Instagram, for example, was acquired by Facebook for nearly $20 billion, and PayPal was bought by eBay for about $1.5 billion. This doesn't mean that you should sell your business as soon as it generates a good profit, but you should be aware that this is a real possibility that can be explored in the future. By understanding that such transactions exist in the business world, you broaden your strategic options and can prepare to make more assertive decisions in the future. The most important thing, however, is that you have a clear goal of where you want to get and are willing to make the right decisions to achieve the financial freedom you so desire. Having a well-defined goal helps guide your actions and decisions in the long run, allowing you to focus on what really matters and not get lost in distractions or impulsive decisions. In the end, true wealth is not just about accumulating money. Money can be a tool, but true wealth is in the freedom it provides, the freedom to live without the limitations imposed by a lack of financial resources. The freedom to have time to do what you want, when you want, without having to worry about debt, deadlines, or the constant pressure of having to work to survive. True wealth is, above all, the ability to live life at your own pace. It is the opportunity to dedicate yourself to your personal projects, to explore the world, to travel and live new experiences without being trapped in an endless cycle of work. With financial freedom, you can free yourself from a scarcity mindset that prevents many people from living the life of their dreams. By reaching this stage of freedom, you can make conscious choices based on what is truly important to you and not from an urgent need to make money to survive. If you want to achieve this type of wealth, it is crucial that you start acting now, without procrastination. Time is a precious resource, and every moment you waste could be a moment that could be invested in your education, new business opportunities, or personal projects that bring you closer to your goals. There is no magic formula for achieving wealth, but there are certain steps that, when followed with consistency and dedication, can transform your life. The key to this lies in changing the way you think about money, in understanding that it is just a tool. Money should be seen as something that can be used to create value and open doors to opportunities that would otherwise be out of your reach. Additionally, your mindset should be strategic, focused on solving real problems and creating meaningful value for others. When you start solving real problems for real people, you begin to realize that money flows naturally. Money then becomes a consequence of the value you are offering to the market. By changing this perspective, you become capable of creating effective and innovative solutions that not only solve problems, but also have a positive impact on people's lives. The path to wealth, whether financial or personal, begins with one simple and powerful step: changing your mindset. When you begin to see money not as the end, but as a means to create solutions, you begin to realize that you are in control of your financial destiny. You start to understand that financial freedom doesn't depend on luck or being in the right place at the right time, but on a focused, strategic attitude aimed at adding value. True freedom, therefore, is the ability to live the life you choose, without limitations, without fears, without the constant worry about your financial future. Financial freedom is the foundation for true wealth, and true wealth is living your life with purpose, health, happiness, and freedom. You don't need a large fortune to be truly rich, but you do need a mindset that allows you to create solutions, that transforms your talents and skills into something people want and need. If you apply this mindset, money will naturally come. But more importantly, you will achieve a state of freedom that will transform your life in ways you never imagined possible. When you get there, you will understand that true wealth is not measured just in numbers, but in the quality of life you are able to create for yourself and the people around you.